Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the news from SABA satellite channel from Marib. Here are tonight's top stories. Yemen condemns fall terrorist plot in Kuwait, reaffirms stance against external agendas and terrorism. National Coalition condemns deadly attack on civilians by Houthi militias in Hajjah, calls for international accountability. Yemen reaffirms commitment to regional stability and accountability for Houthi violations at United Nations Human Rights Council. Welcome back, and to details. Yemen has strongly condemned the fall terrorist plot announced by the Kuwait's Ministry of Interior on Monday. The plot aimed to destabilize the country and recruit elements for terrorist organizations linked to external agendas. In a statement, Yemen expressed full solidarity with Kuwait, commending the attack as part of broader destabilizing efforts, particularly by Iran. Yemen emphasized its firm stance against terrorism and reaffirmed the need for stronger international cooperation to prevent further threats. Yemen also commended Kuwait security forces for their swift action in thwarting the plot and stressed the importance of regional security. Minister of Legal Affairs Judge Ishraq Al-Maqtari held a virtual meeting with the Dutch ambassador to Yemen, John Sieben, to discuss enhancing bilateral cooperation in the legal field and supporting the ministry's plans. The meeting focused on supporting the ministry's key priorities, including programs for training and capacity building, strengthening governance, and supporting efforts in legal enforcement, external litigation, and reviewing government contracts. Minister Al-Maqtari emphasized the importance of Dutch support in advancing the ministry's efforts to implement its plans, particularly in human resources development, institution capacity, and improving the enforcement of law. In turn, Ambassador Sieben expressed appreciation for the government's efforts in the interim capital Aden and reiterated the Netherlands' commitment to supporting Yemen's political leadership and people. Also in a virtual meeting, Minister of Civil Service and Insurance Salam Al-Awlaqi met with the British Ambassador to Yemen, Abd Sharif, to discuss enhancing cooperation on institution reform and other public service issues. The meeting focused on efforts provided through technical assistance mechanisms to support government's reform initiatives, especially in pension system reforms, the development of public institutions, and the recruitment of young professionals based on sound standards. Minister Al-Awlaqi commended the UK's role in supporting the government's efforts to restore state institutions and alleviate citizen suffering, while also highlighting the strong bilateral relations between the two countries. In response, the British ambassador reiterated her country's commitment to supporting the Yemeni government and its efforts to restore state institutions. In another context, Minister of Culture and Tourism Muti' Dammaj met virtually with the German ambassador to Yemen, Thomas Schneider, and representatives from the Goethe Institute led by the Institute's head of cultural education, Dr. Katharina von Roscoe, to discuss strengthened cultural cooperation between the two countries. The meeting reviewed the activities of Goethe Institute, a leading German cultural institution that promotes language and cultural exchange. The discussion focused on how the institute can support Yemen's cultural and educational sense, especially as the government seeks to expand international partnerships in these areas. The meeting also explored reopening the institute's program in Yemen, including the possibility of establishing a Goethe Institute branch in the interim capital Aden to boost cultural exchange and strengthen ties between Yemen and Germany. Minister Dammaj emphasized the government's commitment to enhancing cultural cooperation with international institutions, especially in Goethe Institute, to strengthen Yemen's cultural presence internationally and to train young people with modern educational standards. Minister of State and Governor of Aden, Abdulrahman Sheikh, emphasized the importance of scientific conferences that focus on real challenges, focus on the health sector. He stressed the need to draw on international experiences and expertise during his meeting with the leadership of Dentists Association, headed by Dr. Awsan Hamid. During the meeting, Governor Sheikh highlighted the importance of enhancing the outcomes of these conferences to improve health services in the province. He expressed his full support for the upcoming 10th Scientific Conference scheduled for May, along with the other scientific activities organized by medical associations. The National Coalition of Yemeni political parties strongly condemned the horrific massacre committed by the Houthi militia supported by Iran on Sunday, March 26, 2026. The militia targeted a gathering of innocent civilians during iftar in Hayran district of Hajj Governorate, resulting in the death of 8 civilians, mostly children and elderly, and injuring over 30 others. The attack followed a prior surveillance using drones indicating premeditated criminal intent. The coalition emphasized that these atrocities constitute war crime under international humanitarian law and the Geneva Convention. They called on the United Nations and the Security Council to take urgent and effective action, moving beyond mere statements of countering and reopening the independent international investigation into this crime. The National Coalition reiterated the global responsibility to end the Houthi coup, freeing the Yemeni people from the cycle of terror, starvation, and disinformation, and urged the international community to stand united against this Iranian-backed expansionist project. The Republic of Yemen has reiterated that Houthi militia backed by the Iranian regime pose a direct threat to regional peace, security, and international navigation. During a session at the 61st United Nations Yemeni Deputy Minister of Human Rights Nabil Abdul Hafid expressed Yemen's commitment to working with the regional and international partners to promote stability and human rights across the region. The government commended the ongoing Houthi violations against the Yemenis, including indiscriminate killings, torture, child recruitment, and targeting civilians and humanitarian facilities. These violations are well documented in United Nations and international human rights reports. Yemen also commended Iranian interventions in the internal affairs of other nations, particularly its support for armed groups committing severe violations. The Yemeni government called on the international community to enforce international law, impartially ensure accountability for crimes, and criminalize violations of national sovereignty and interference in internal affairs. That was the news bulletin from SABA satellite channel from Marib. Thank you for watching and have a good time.